The champion's banner. Ask any title holder, past or present, and they will tell you there's no greater honor than seeing their name and image hanging high above the Bellator cage. Exemplifying courage, strength, and sacrifice, the champion's banner acts as a physical embodiment of a fighter's success and legacy. In this episode of A Year in Review, we will be taking a look at this year's class of 2021 champions. We'll see how they got there, who they beat, and what challenges await them in 2022.
That's how you say and still.
How do you spell dominant? M-O-L-D-A-V-S-K-Y.
Masasi maintains the Bellator MMA Middleweight Championship.
This is Bellator Champion 2021, A Year in Review. The heavyweight division. Much of 2021 saw its reigning champion, Ryan Bader, tied up in the light heavyweight division. Coming off of a devastating loss to Russian phenom Vadim Nemkov, Bader entered the light heavyweight Grand Prix with hopes of recapturing his belt. But while Bader's quest to reclaim his light heavyweight throne dominated the headlines, noise was starting to be made back home in the division Bader claimed by winning the heavyweight World Grand Prix. Riding a 5-fight winning streak and undefeated since coming to Bellator, 29-year-old Russian-born fighter Valentin Moldavsky began putting the division on notice with his in-your-face style of fighting.
Another win for Team Fedor. It belongs to Valentin Moldavsky and the rising prospect at heavyweight.
With wins over Linton Vassell, Javi Ayala, and Roy Nelson, it was only a matter of time before the Russian earned himself his long-awaited title shot. With news of Bader advancing to the semifinals to face newcomer Corey Anderson, Bellator president Scott Coker declared that an interim belt would now be up for grabs in the heavyweight division, a first of its kind. Shortly after that proclamation, an announcement was made that the two top dogs in the division would be competing for the interim title. The much-anticipated title fight between Tim Johnson and Valentin Moldavsky was officially set for Bellator 261. Coming into the title fight, Moldavsky's confidence was at an all-time high, and while many thought the fight could go either way, it was Moldavsky who was able to secure the unanimous decision victory. At last, the wait was over. Moldavsky was now the interim Bellator heavyweight champion of the world, a first of his career. As 2022 kicks off, Moldavsky will be looking to erase the interim and replace it with undisputed when he faces heavyweight champ Ryan Bader.
And watch for that right. Oh, big shot! And it's all over! Just like that! Ryan Bader knocks out Emelianenko!
Will Ryan Bader get back to his winning ways and defend his heavyweight title? Or will Moldavsky continue with his winning streak, claim the heavyweight title as his alone, and continue the Russian takeover? The light heavyweight division has always been one of the toughest to defend. No fighter in the history of the organization has defended it more than twice. 7 have tried, and 7 have failed. A testament to the level of competition inside the Bellator cage. 2021 saw the rise of a new light heavyweight king.
He is the new Bellator light heavyweight world champion, Vadim Nemkov.
Russian-born fighter Vadim Nemkov began his year on a mission, looking to prove that he's the best 205er on the planet. Nemkov's quest for the title defense record brought him face to face with an old foe, former NC2A champion wrestler and former Bellator title holder Phil Davis. The two would meet in the quarterfinals of the newly announced Light Heavyweight World Grand Prix. Having eked out a split decision victory the first time they faced each other, Nemkov knew he was in for a grind. Nemkov earned himself a unanimous decision victory over Mr. Wonderful and secured his spot in the semifinals, where he was set to face newly acquired superstar Anthony "Rumble" Johnson.
Oh, what a shot by Johnson! It is over here in the quarterfinals of the light heavyweight Grand Prix.
Part of being a great champion is being prepared for anything. And as fate would have it, Nemkov's pedigree would be tested when news broke that Rumble Johnson was stepping down. With the date already locked in, Nemkov's new opponent was Grand Prix alternate Julius Anglickis, a Cinderella story in the making. The pressure was on as Nemkov entered the fight as a heavy favorite, but as it goes in the fight game, every dog has his day, and if Nemkov wanted to continue on to the finals, he'd have to do it with precision and timing.
At what point, if you're in the corner of the challenger here, are you thinking this fight can't be won?
Well, you know, it's one of those, I always look for a corner to be smart with their fighters, because you can only get hurt so many times before it starts to change who you are as a fighter.
The fight ended at 4:25 into the fourth round by way of submission due to Kimura, the fifth finish in his dominant Bellator career, thus earning him a finals appearance against one of the baddest men in all of combat sports, Corey "Overtime" Anderson. With the victory in hand, Nemkov became just the 8th fighter in the organization's history to defend the belt twice, setting himself up for one of the most important fights of his career. A Grand Prix belt, a $1 million cash prize, and the Bellator title defense record will all be on the line when he enters the cage. Will Nemkov carry his belt all the way through the Grand Prix and earn himself the $1 million cash prize? Will he set a new Bellator title defense record? We're going to find out in 2022.
And now, two-time Bellator Middleweight World Champion, Gegard Mousasi.
2021 saw middleweight legend Gegard Mousasi once again sitting at the top of the mountain. After defeating welterweight champ Douglas Lima for the vacant title back in 2020, Mousasi opened up the new year wanting nothing more than to defend it. With the division chock full of rising stars like Austin Vanderford, Costello Van Steenis, and Johnny Eblen, it was the gritty fighter John Salter who earned his shot at the title. Having put together an impressive 3-fight winning streak, 2 by way of submission, John Salter had one thing on his mind: dethroning the newly crowned champ. Even with Mousasi coming into the fight as a heavy favorite, there was a feeling that John Salter wasn't going down without a fight. 2:07 into the third round, Mousasi put the pressure on and finished the fight via ground and pound. A vintage Mousasi victory, and another top contender name knocked off. Gegard Mousasi will be looking to continue his dominance in 2022 as he chases down the title defense record set by Rafael Cavallo and Alexander Slamenko. With the #1 contender spot now solidified, Austin Vanderford will be the next man to try and knock off the champ. Will he succeed? We will find out. This has been Bellator's Year in Review, Champions Edition. Be sure to tune in to the next episode as we take a look back at the welterweight, lightweight, and the featherweight division champions. Be sure to like and subscribe.